Attaya pradibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kraditam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam.
Bhagavan says, Andakalecha mameva smaran mutva kalevaram yaprayadi samatpavam yadi nastyatra samsayaha. He says, remembering me alone. What he means by that word, remembering me alone? Because the next sloka says, Yam yam vabi smaran bhavam Tyajatyante kalebaram tam tame vaidi kaundeya sada tatmava bhavitaha. He says, whatever state of being one remembers, one stays when he quits his body, O son of Kundi, that state he will attain without fail. Exactly what happens at the time of leaving the body. That we should understand. When a person leaves the body, he goes through all the 7 layers of his being. He goes through all these 7 layers. First, the physical body, which you are having now. The tremendous pain. Actually, when a person leaves the body, it creates tremendous pain in their whole system. Whole system undergoes a tremendous pain. It's almost like a Upanishad describes thousands of scorpions biting at a time. Thousands of scorpions biting at a time. Please don't think I am not frightening you. I have to state few truths and facts as it is. Even though it hurts sometime, better let it hurt now itself. At least we will be prepared. Better let us be very clear the journey which we are going to take up or which will be forced upon us. Whether we take up or it will be forced upon us, we don't know, but we have to do this journey. Let's understand at least what is going to happen. Tremendous pain. You may ask, why pain? Because your being wants to stay in the body, but the body cannot host the being anymore. Unless the body is completely tired or exhausted, there is no need for your being to leave. The moment if your being is leaving, the death has started happening means the body is completely exhausted or damaged. In a regular way, it will be exhausted and you will leave the body, or if it is an accident, damaged. Some way, the being is not able to live in the body. That is the reason the being has to leave. Just understand, if half an inch, if you cut your finger, when you cut vegetables, what pain you experience. The same thing, 6 feet your body will be torn. Naturally there will be pain. But one thing, there is an automatic mechanism in your being, automatic painkiller mechanism. The moment pain is unbearable, you will fall in coma. You will fall in coma. If you fall in coma, you will not experience pain, but the big problem is you will die in unconsciousness. That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing. You don't know what for you lived, and the next decision about the next birth, you will not be able to do it consciously. That is the reason Krishna says, Yam yam vavis paran bhavam. In what state you are, you remain at the time of leaving the body. You will achieve that state without fail. If you are in unconscious state at the time of leaving the body, naturally you will take up lower level bodies which are unconscious, which doesn't have consciousness. The moment you move the physical body, the next level pranic body, the prana sarira means the inhaling, exhaling, the prana flow in your body. That is called prana sarira. The prana sarira is filled with all the desires. Please understand, your prana and desires are very closely related. If your desires change, immediately the circulation of prana will change. If you can change your prana, the whole mentality, mind will change. Your mind and prana are very closely connected. So the second layer is filled with desires. That is why at the time of leaving, the people inhale and exhale. They just suffer because the body says, I can't host you anymore, relax, get out. But the being says, no, I have so many desires. I have to live in this body. I have to enjoy this body. When you move to the next level, mental body, mental layer, manasarira, all the guilt stays in that layer. Desire is expectation about future. Guilt is, I have not lived in this way. This is a thought about past. I should live like this is desire. I should have lived like this is guilt. I should live like this is desire. I should have lived like that is guilt. Guilt is nothing but, guilt is created, guilt is an emotion created when you review your past decisions with updated intelligence. Understand? Guilt is nothing but emotion created in your being when you try to review your past decisions with updated intelligence. Let me give you a small example. At the age of 7, you are playing with toys and dolls. Your mom comes and calls you for food. Come and eat. You say, no, I don't want to eat. I want to play. By force, your mother takes away all the toys and she pulls you to come and eat. Then immediately you say, you go and die, give me my toys. I want to play. At that moment, toys look more important. You feel toys are much more important in your life than your mother. Now you understand. Now if you start feeling guilty, oh, what mistake I have done. I shouldn't have told all these words to my mother. It's a very big mistake. How important mother is. But I never thought that time. Now if you start creating guilt, how bad it is. At that moment you had only that much of intelligence. Now your intelligence is updated. If you try to review your past decisions with updated intelligence, you will create only one thing, guilt. Somebody asks a person, if God gives you one more janma, will you do all these same mistakes? He says, surely I will do, but I will start little early so that I can do little more. I will start little early so that I can do little more. Please be very clear, if God gives us one more janma, we will do the same mistakes. Because at the age of 7 you had only that much of intelligence. Now your intelligence is updated. Just because your intelligence is updated now, you can't think, you can't create guilt in you. When you made the decision, at that age, you should see what all the data you had. You had all these data and you had only this much of intelligence to process the data. You took the decision. Now, the intelligence to process the data is updated, your software is updated. Because your software is updated, can you say now, oh, I took wrong decision at that time, I am suffering with guilt, Swamiji? You can't. That time you had only this software. The software to process the data and take decision was not available to you at that time. You had only that much of intelligence. Now what to do about it? One more thing, guilt is wedge inserted in your being. It will create the uneasiness between you and your being. Be very clear, the worst sin is guilt. If at all there is something called sin, that is only guilt. Guilt is the only sin. Nothing else is sin in the planet Earth. One more important thing you should understand. Through guilt you can never become pure. You can never achieve morality through guilt. People ask me, Abhishek Swamiji, unless I have guilt, how can I become a better person? Please be very clear, you can never become a better person, you can never become a moral person, you can never become a pure person by guilt. Because guilt will become such a load on you. Again and again and again you will do the same mistake. If you have a deep guilt about smoking, you can never quit smoking. Because the moment the guilt repeats in your system, the thoughts related to guilt is repeated in your system, the habit will be more strengthened. Whatever is repeated in your consciousness will become strong in your consciousness. You can never grow out of it. In Ramayanam, the Vali character, Vali is strange character. He had a boon from Shiva. Whomsoever comes in front of him to fight with him, half of that person's power will come to him. If you go and stand in front of Vali, half of your power will go away to Vali. Already he has got some power. Half of your power. Naturally, who will win? Vali will win. Same way, guilt is Vali. The moment you fight with the smoking habit, half of your power you have given to that habit. You fight with that habit. How can you come out of it? You can never come out. Beautiful one-liner from Bernard Shaw. He says, dropping smoking is very easy. I have done many times. I have done many times. You can continue to do many times, that's all. But you can never get out of that habit. You can never get out of that cycle. You will be caught in a rut. Guilt will create a rut. You will never be able to jump out of it. Please be very clear. If you remove the guilt, at least your personality will be integrated. You will be centered. When your personality is integrated, naturally you will become pure and energetic. All immoral behavior is because you don't have enough energy, that's all. Person with energy will be always pure. Person without energy will be immoral. In the society we have a wrong idea. People with energy do all nonsensical things. We always think people with energy do nonsensical things. Never think. If he is doing immoral things means he wants energy through that action. he feels he will get energy through that action. Understand? Even your sense enjoyments, you running behind senses is also with the same hope that you will get some energy by that action. You will feel fresh by that action. You will feel blissful by that action. Even running behind senses is nothing but running behind energy. All your running is nothing but running behind energy. When you review your past decisions with updated intelligence, you create guilt in you. Never do that mistake. If you create, whole thing will be sitting in the mental body, and when you leave the body, it will be a very big obstruction. It will be a very big obstruction. And the next layer, the etheric body, is all the painful experiences which you had in your life. These 4 layers are only hell. Please understand, hell is not situated in some place. This 4 layer, all your desires, all your guilt, and all your painful experiences. Your energy crossing this 4 layer, physical body, pranic body, mental body, etheric body, this 4 layer, that time what it undergoes only is called as hell. When you are living in the body, if you have kept all these 4 layers clean, you will never enter into hell. If you can technically clean it, when I say the word technically, I mean through meditation. If you can clean this layer with a proper meditation technique, at the time of leaving the body, you will never have any problem. You will have a clear highway. Straight away you can travel. That is what Arjuna says, that is what Krishna says here. The path through which a man can easily leave and liberate himself, and path in which he destroys himself, he suffers. Both paths are now shown by Krishna. These are the major obstructions when you leave the body. After that, the inside 3 layers are called heaven. There, all your blissful memories are stored. If you are stuck there, again you will have to come back. Please be very clear, even your punya is a karma. Even that will not allow you to become enlightened. You may feel good ecstatic way some days, for few days. But after that, your mind will take that also for granted. You take the whole thing for granted. Heaven also, you will take it for granted in few days. When you take it for granted, you have to come down. That is why Bhagavan says here, he says, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartinorjuna mamubet yadukaunteya punarjanmana vidyade. From the highest planet of Brahmaloka and the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains me, one who attains my being, one who attains to my consciousness, only he never takes birth again. Please be very clear. If you are caught in punya also, till Brahmaloka you come down. Even if you are caught in punya, you will come down. Even your punya cannot give you enlightenment. I always tell people, be very clear, even if you give money for my ashram, I cannot give you speed pass. I cannot give you speed pass. Be very clear. Unless you have conscious glimpse, unless you achieve at least one moment of thoughtless awareness, nobody can save you. I don't say don't do dana dharma. Do dana or dharma out of love and gratitude. Do it just out of gratitude, just for doing it. Not expecting that tomorrow I will be given a special place in the heaven or somewhere. In the Disney World they have a speed pass. If you give a little more money, they have VIP pass. no VIP pass. Please be very clear. In that world, no VIP pass is available. Whatever money you give, in India if you give 45 rupees, you will have $1 here. Exchange counter. For that world and this world, no exchange counter is available. It's pure lie. I always tell people, even if you give money to my ashram, I cannot give you any speed pass. Nothing can be done. This is the honest truth. People ask me, then why do you build ashram, temple? I just build it so that all the science can be practiced there as a laboratory. Ashrams and temples are the places where all this science is analyzed, people study all these truths, people imbibe all these truths and practice it in their life. It is an inner science laboratory. Again, all over the world I build ashrams, temples, just as an inner science laboratory, where all these things can be practiced, where all these things can be studied, where all this science can be analyzed, where people will be able to understand this science. Do it only in the conscious of laboratory. Don't do for some special ticket, special punya. Don't expect, if you do all these things for Vishnu, he will send a special flight with the Garuda's emblem, and it will land when you leave the body, and all the air hostesses of Ramba, Menaka, Urvasi will come and take you there. Nothing. If you expect all these things, you will be sitting and waiting. Nobody will be there. Be very clear. Whether you do sin or merit, you will suffer when you leave the body. Whether it is sin or merit, both are going to be karmas. Then what is supposed to be done? When you live in the body, at least once, somehow or other, by meditating or by surrender, some way, experience one glimpse of thoughtless awareness. Intensely work for it. At least one glimpse of thoughtless awareness, witnessing consciousness. If you achieve one glimpse over, that one glimpse will act like a torch, conscious torch, and that will guide you through all these 7 layers when you leave the body. Through all these 7 layers, you will be beautifully, you will be able to walk, and you will just slide. You will just slide. That will act as a torch of consciousness, which will guide you through this path, through this light. If you achieve that one glimpse of consciousness, you have achieved what has to be achieved. If you have not had that, whatever you achieve is just pure waste. All your punya, all your papa, nothing will come with you. You will not be judged by anything except this one glimpse of samadhi. Again and again, Vivekananda says, if you achieve even a single glimpse, you will leave your body only in that experience. Because the intense experience of your life will come up at that moment when you leave the body. It's like your whole life will run in a fast-forward mode. In a fast-forward mode, the whole life will run in few seconds in front of you. Naturally, the important scene only will appear in color, multicolor, again and again. All the other scenes will appear in black and white. They will become a background. If you had the thoughtless awareness in your life when you are living, only that will appear in multicolor. All the other things will go away to background. Naturally, you will stay in that state and leave the body. One more thing, when you are doing fast forward, there is some mistake in a tape, and if it is stuck in one place and you continue to do the fast forward, the whole tape will be erased. Same way, thoughtless awareness is a stuck point, because in that space you never had a thought. You will be stuck there, and whatever afterwards, whatever fast forward happens, all your other karmas will be erased away, will be washed away. Just visualize your whole life as a videotape. And if one point if you are stuck, and if you try to do fast forward, automatically the whole thing will be erased. Same way, thoughtless awareness is the point where you will be automatically stuck when you leave the body. And fast forward has to happen because you are leaving the body. Automatically the whole thing will be washed away. It's like one virus enters into your software. The more you try to operate the software, more the virus will destroy the software. Same way, the thoughtless awareness is the virus for your samsara sagara, for your samskaras, for your software of mind. Your mind is a software. Of course, your mind is a clear programmed software. Please be very clear. Don't think your mind is intelligence. Your mind is a clear programmed software. For example, if you experience depression or worrying mood every day morning 10 o'clock because of office, morning 10 o'clock means low mood, that office, all troubles, torture, everything. Even in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, around the time of 10 o'clock, you will have the same depression. If you are little aware, if you are little sensitive, at that time, if you observe yourself, you will have the same mood. How many of you experienced this? Raise your hand. If you really observed yourself, you would have experienced this at least few times. And you will tell your mind, no, today is weekend, I don't have to go to office, don't think about all those things. But even then your mind will again and again go to the same mood, because your mind is programmed software. Thoughtless awareness is witnessing consciousness is virus. The more you work with the software, when the virus is entered into your software, more software will be destroyed. All the programs will be destroyed. Same way, if you have one glimpse of consciousness at the time of living in your lifetime, at the time of leaving the body, this one glimpse will enter into your being and the whole software will be completely erased. You will not have need to take next birth. There will be no need for you to take next birth, because you only if you believe there is something to be enjoyed, achieved through the body and mind, you will assume body and mind. Unless you believe there is some enjoyment in the downtown, will you go to downtown? You will not. Unless there is some work in the downtown, you will not go there. Same way, unless you believe there is something to be achieved or enjoyed through this body and mind, you will not come down. You will not come down. Only when you believe there is something to be achieved or enjoyed with this body and mind, you will take again and again births. You will assume the bodies again and again. When you are living in the body itself, if you work on these engraved memories, samskaras, and come out of them, liberate yourself from their influence. Actually, the 2 chapters Krishna speaks in a detailed way. We are going to see that both the chapters. Of course, not only we are going to see, we are going to do the techniques. You will be given a notebook and you yourself will be able to sit and analyze in the layers. Desire means what are the desires root and what are the desires superficial. What are your own desires, what are imposed on you. And when it comes to guilt, how the guilt is imposed on you by the society in the initial level. After that, you yourself master the art of creating guilt and you continue to create for yourself. First the society teaches you, then you master the art. And then third, pain and suffering. How the society gives you the scale, what is pain and what is suffering, and then how you make your whole life into suffering by measuring your life with that scale. All these things we will deeply work on every emotion on the next Saturday and I think Friday and Saturday about the engraved memories, samskaras, the Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Krishna speaks about all these things deeply. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga means the gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. He speaks deeply. That time we will be able to work on those engrams. Then we will be able to see every inch how they are stopping us from our progress, and when we work on them, when we clear them, how our whole life will be transformed. One more thing, you need to understand this science not only for dying, even for living. If you are stuck with guilt, you can never enjoy your desires. When you don't enjoy your desires, you create more guilt. That's all. When you are stuck with guilt, you will not live your desires. When you don't live your desires, you will create more guilt. And it becomes a vicious circle. Not only for dying, even for living, you need to learn this whole science. You need to learn the whole science. As on now, understand this one thing. Through this whole chapter, Krishna conveys a single message. If you experience his consciousness, thoughtless awareness, or the witnessing consciousness in which Krishna stays and plays the whole life, lives the whole life, that is why the Krishna's life is called Leela. Krishna Leela. It is never called history, it is Leela. Our life, after we die, it will be written. It is history. For incarnations, it is a script. They write, come down and enact. For them it is a script. For us it is a history. For us, after we die, somebody will write. And if you really achieve something, if you really achieve something, for masters, great masters, it is a script. They come with a script and enact the whole thing, play the whole game. That is why their life is called Leela. If you achieve witnessing consciousness, your whole life will become Leela. You know the script. You know the script and you will be ready. When you know the script, whole life is Leela. When you don't know the script, it is history. When you know the script, it is Leela. Krishna is conveying only one thing. All you need to do is work to achieve the glimpse of thoughtless awareness. In the next chapters, he speaks deeply, intensely, how to work on every layer, how to progress, how to clean every layer, how to achieve the conscious glimpse or thoughtless awareness. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayarbida manobuddhir mame vaishyasya samsayaha. Krishna says, Arjuna, you should always think of me. You should always be in my consciousness. Even when you are doing your regular duty, with your activities, let your mind and intelligence be fixed in my consciousness. You will attain me without doubt. Again he uses the word without doubt. Na samsayaha. Without doubt you will achieve me. Asamsayaha. Earlier he said na samsayaha. Here he says asamsayaha. You will achieve me without doubt. One important question will come. Anyhow, we have to think of him only at the time of leaving the body. Why to bother now, Swamiji? Let us forget. Let us live our life At the time of death, we will think about him. Please be very clear. This sloka answers that question. You cannot think about him unless you think about him now. Don't think when you are living your whole life, you will remember, you will repeat only the words Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, and suddenly in the end, you will repeat Rama Krishna. No. The whole life, what you repeated, the same only will come in the end also. When you leave, you think, now I can say Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. In the end, I can have Rama Krishna. No. You will repeat the same thing only. What you remember now, the same thing only you will repeat in the end. Because in the end of the moment, you will not be able to remember what you want. The consciousness will not be under your control. Automatically the totality will come up. The whole file will come up. What is the maximum percentage you did in that file? That will automatically come up. That's all. So you can't do anything at that moment. Don't think at that time I can think. Now let us forget about all these things. No. What for you lived, with what thought you lived intensely, only that will come at that moment also. That is why he says, even when you do your duty, let you be absorbed in me. Means, even when you are living, try to be continuously in that thoughtless awareness, witnessing consciousness. Next question, how can I be in that witnessing mood when I am living my regular life, Swamiji? Start in a very simple way. When you are driving, when you are sitting, when you are talking, just see what is happening inside you and outside you. Inside your being and outside your being. What is happening? You don't have to close your eyes. At least at the time of driving, don't. Don't close your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. Just move away from your body. Just see what is going on in your mind and what is going on outside your being. When you are sitting and talking with people, just witness how he is talking and how you are responding. Even before he finishes his statement, how you come to the conclusions, how you are ready to jump on him, how you are preparing your speech before he finishes his statement. Witness. Continuously try to witness. You will see the influence of desires, guilt and pain on your being will automatically disappear. The moment you create gap between you and your being, immediately the suffering disappears. Suffering is attachment with your body and mind. The moment you start witnessing, that very moment, all your suffering disappears. It's actually, in the initial level when you start, 2-3 times you may fail. But after failing, after you face the failure 2-3 times, you start thinking, it is very difficult, I cannot do. You create an idea, it is very difficult. Somebody goes to Ramana Maharshi and asks, Master, is Atma Vidya very difficult? He says, the word difficulty is the only difficulty. The word difficult is the only difficulty. He sings beautifully in Tamil. Aye Adisulabam, Atma Vidyai, Aye Adisulabam. Oh, so easy. The knowledge of self is so easy. He sings beautifully. To achieve money, you have to work. To achieve name and fame, you have to work. To achieve something else, you have to work. To achieve Atmajnana, just keep quiet. Nothing else needs to be done. Such a simple thing. Even few moments of witnessing consciousness is enough. Don't start calculating. Tomorrow onwards, 24 hours, I will be in that mood. Don't start calculating. Then you will naturally be a failure. You will feel frustrated. Don't bother. Even if you stay in that consciousness 5 minutes, it's a big blessing. When you start feeling the relief which happens to you when you witness, even once or twice you start feeling the relief, how the stress disappears from your being, automatically you will start staying in the same state because now you know the taste. Only once, if you know the taste, automatically you will come back to the same state. You will come back to the same mood. Ramakrishna says, if you give a little bit of abin to pick up at evening 4 o'clock, next day exactly at that same time 4 o'clock it will be there in front of your house. North India, abin, they will give abin for peacocks. So they will start dancing. Little bit of abin they will put with the rice and they will put it in front of their house. This abin is a sort of a natural intoxicant. And the peacocks, once they eat that rice, they will start dancing. Ramakrishna says, once if you supply abin at particular time, next day automatically the peacock will be there in such a abin. Same way, only once if you understand, experience the relaxation which happens to you, the relief which happens to you, when you witness your body and mind, automatically again and again you will come back for that experience, for that peace. Even if you feel witnessing is difficult, witness that thought also. Be aware of that thought also. Go into the consciousness of your being. Let you experience samadhi so that all the hindrances will disappear. You will be able to experience the ultimate eternal consciousness. He says, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna mamuvet yadukavanteya punarjanmana vidyate. As I was telling you, same thing. Including Brahmaloka, in all the lokas, wherever you go, you have to come back, take rebirth. Means till the cosmic body, you have to come back after enjoying all your punyas. Only when you achieve the consciousness of nirvana, you will not take rebirth. And here he says one more beautiful thing. The concept which I was saying, Shana, he says, Sahasra Yuga Pariyanda Maharyat Brahmano Vituhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Deho Ratra Vidojanaha. He says, by human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form a duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. As I was telling you, 1 year for us is 1 day for Devatas. For Brahma, 1,000 ages are taken as 1 day for Brahma. Means, this sloka means Brahma is almost in 0 TPS, 0 thought per second. If we are in 100 thought per second, Devatas may be around 50 thoughts per second. That is why 1 year for us is 1 day for them. And Brahma may be around 2-3 thoughts per second. He has achieved almost the witnessing consciousness or thoughtlessness. But even if you achieve 2 thoughts per second or 1 thought per second, you have to come back after some time. Only when you achieve complete thoughtlessness, complete conscious awareness, you will be able to establish yourself in that ultimate bliss. That is the reason Krishna says, Krishna describes the calendar of Brahma. And here he goes on describing what time, how you will achieve the enlightenment and how to reach that state, or how people come back in 2 sloka. Agni Jyotirah Sukla Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayada Gachanti Brahmavito Janaha. Those who know the Supreme Divine attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of Agni, fire god, light, and an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, and during 6 months of the sun travels in the north. Uttarayanam. Please understand, these are all not chronological calendars. If it is chronological calendar, then in the Uttarayanam time all of us can commit suicide, that's all. But that is not the thing. All these things have got their technical meaning. When he says Uttarayanam, means when your mind is totally balanced. When your mind is totally balanced. When you are not agitated. Bhishma waits for Uttarayanam. Means don't think he was waiting for January month. He was waiting till his mind settles down from all the agitations. He was thrown, he is lying down on the Ambushayana, means the bed made out of arrows. He is lying. He must have felt agitated. My grandson, to whom I taught everything, to whom I changed diaper, that guy came and put me like this. Of course, he must have thought all these things. His mind would have felt agitated. He would have been disturbed. So he waits till all the agitation settles down. That is what is meant by the word. He was waiting for Uttarayanam. Don't think these are all chronological. These are all psychological. If it is just chronological January month, in that 6 months, so many millions of people die. You think all will become enlightened? How can it be? How can it be just 6 months, all will become enlightened? It can never be. Enlightenment is not accident. It is pure conscious choice. So be very clear. When he says Agnir Jyotir Ahas Shukla Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayada Gachanti Brahma Vito Janaha. So, if you are conscious, Agnir Jyotiraham means when your being is conscious, when your being is fully alive, awakened. Shukla means going above, Krishna means going down. Naturally, you will go up. One more important thing. If you live throughout your life centered on the eyes, your energy will leave through eyes. You will, in the last moment, you will open the eyes and soul will leave. If you live throughout your life centered on the tongue, eating, your mouth will open and soul will leave. So if you live throughout your life centered on the higher consciousness, your energy will leave through the Sahasrara. That's what he means. Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayada Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. If you have lived always towards the higher consciousness, you travel in that path and disappear into the Brahman. You become enlightened. So be very clear, these are not chronological, these are psychological. So Bhishma was waiting till his mind gets settled. He was waiting till he feels completely peaceful, till he was able to forgive everybody, till he was able to reach the conscious awareness. Then he enters into the enlightenment. Dhumo ratris tada Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandra Masam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartade. The person who passes away from this world during smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months of the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. Again, this is not chronological, this is psychological. We can't say, complete the 6 months, nobody can become enlightened. We can't say, the 6 months of Dakshinayanam enlightenment gates are locked, no entry. And only Uttarayanam time, we open the door, gates are open, come at that time. No. We can't say Dakshinayana time is not, Dakshinayana time is a no entry hours, and only Uttarayanam time is a working hours. There is no working hours for enlightenment. It is purely conscious choice of your being. And in the end, Krishna blesses all with this statement, Mamu vetya punarjanma dukkhalayamaya masasvatam napnuvandi mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Mamu vetya punarjanma dukkhalayamasaasvatam napnuvandi mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. He has given an intellectual knowledge now. In the next further chapters, he is going to give the deep level techniques to experience this truth, experience this thoughtless awareness by removing the engrams, by removing the engraved memories, by understanding the samskaras. Now he says, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. The very understanding of this science, the very intellectual understanding will give the inspiration to experience the truth, and naturally it will lead you to the ultimate truth. Here Krishna says, if you achieve this state, you never come back. He is inspiring all of us, he is persuading all of us to enter into that state, to enter into that thoughtless awareness. Let us pray to that ultimate energy, Parabrahma Krishna, to give us all the intelligence and experience, the thoughtless awareness, witnessing consciousness, Atmajnana, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Gamsachanoramardanam Devagi Paramanandam Krishnam Pande Jagadgurum.